Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's game is the divisional matchup between two proven wide receivers. It's Brandon Cooks going up against Julio Jones.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots. Gostkowski now to kick this one off. Two teams more than ready to get this one started. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Ryan. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. Then the offense lining up 1st and 10. And they're definitely showing blitz here. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Left side completion to Jones. A phrase we said a lot last year. Ryan to Jones for a Falcon first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Ryan. That complete right around the 8. Knocked down sideways. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And the 8th play on this drive coming up. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. That's complete right around the 8. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now Matt Bryant on for the point after. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. For the shifty Dion Lewis. And, oh, a big collision there. He's hit and knocked backward. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Cooks will come in motion right. They try again with Lewis. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And now a fumble. Brady loses the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away. A teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On fourth down on now is the lefty Ryan Allen to punt. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. As you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Easy.
On play action, now Brady. He sets to fire deep. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion. Brady gives this one to Lewis. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Brady. Forced out to his left. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second. And, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak. But if you're a Falcon fan, was this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl. You were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, Freeman. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Well, before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. The final shot before half for Brady. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. And Larry apparently very brief in his report. Thanks anyway, my man, as we're already set for action. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now the Patriot offense set to take over again. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
So 2nd and 10 here. Shift together here from the D-line. Now a play fake. Brady. On the crossing route, that's caught. Julian Edelman. There he goes, Julian Edelman. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Julian Edelman, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Patriots are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Gostkowski now out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did. Before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Freeman again. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
They run. Devontae Freeman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Defense showing blitz. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now. Another carry for the workhorse tonight, Freeman. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 6. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Patriots offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Again, it's Lewis. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production. But how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
On 3rd down, that's Lewis. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in four-down territory, backed up, in good situation. It didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
The Patriots come up empty on fourth down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Now a play fake here on first down. The Pats are going to get there. Down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast and a big sack. A 20th carry now for Devontae Freeman. And a solid run down inside the 30. He was able to pick up 6 yards there, so that leaves him with a 3rd and 13.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. So with that miss, Charles, you have to figure their fate. It might be sealed.
Yeah, you needed 2 scores. So you take the field goal first and then worry about getting the ball back. But that may not matter now.
Back to throw, Brady. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Gronk, the tight end, in motion. Now Brady. He's going to let it fly. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. Now Brady got to have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Brandon Cooks, 64 yards. And the Patriots have cut it back within a score. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
And the wideout in motion. Ryan wants to throw it. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Now Lewis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Counting down toward a minute to go in this football game. Cooks will come in motion right. They run. This is Lewis. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
New England on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Easy.
Back to throw. And able to find Dorsett. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Slot man moves right. He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. This is Lewis. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop it behind the line. Now there's the timeout signaled for with 2 seconds to go. And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. With 2 seconds left in regulation, this to force overtime. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left. Now they'll run with Lewis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll bring up a second down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Not able to find any yardage on that one.
And they need 5 yards on 3rd down here to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They go play action here on first down. Trying to lay one up deep. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Another nice job there defensively. They've really stymied their passing attempts, and it continues in overtime.
And for them to do that, that means they've had to be cohesive on defense. Pressure in the quarterback's face, good coverage of not just the wide receivers, but the tight end, the running backs when they try and slip out, and making sure they're at the point of attack. When the ball's in the air, they get there and help force some of those incompletions.
Brady again here on 2nd and 10. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Tough spot for the Pats now after the sack as Brady will lead him up 3rd and long. Working from the gun, it's Brady. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
Here's Ryan Allen now, on for a very important punt here in overtime. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And he's got room. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 33 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking deep, and this is caught. A huge play there in overtime, 41 yards. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's say we've been there before and we've seen guys maybe they hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really...
And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Partner, great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at EA Sports.